In the yesterday's class, what we covered? So we covered the difference between arrays and collection. What is the purpose of arrays? What is the purpose of collections? Why we are going to use collections? All the points we covered. So can anyone tell me the one point? What is the difference between collections and arrays? At least one point. Yesterday we discussed, right, some 5 to 6 points. These are the main difference between the arrays and collections. See here you can now also you can tell. So first of all, arrays and collections, why we need to store the group of elements. If it is a single element, directly we can use the primitives or for wrappers. We can use wrapper classes. We can use to store the values. If we have the group of data, then we have to use this arrays or collections. Especially, we will use collections mostly because when compared to arrays, collections have more advantages. So what are the difference here? So arrays will support both primitives and non-primitives. Non-primitives means objects. Primitives means byte, character, int, short, long, float, double, boolean, those things. Non-primitives, all objects, we can call it as a non-primitives. But collections will support only the non-primitives. So non-primitives means objects it will support. So if we want to store integers, strings, means we have the wrapper classes. So by using wrapper classes, we can store the integer value, double value, boolean value. So difference between wrapper classes and primitives means so primitives will not accept null value. Wrappers will accept a null value because object will accept a null value. Then arrays have less built-in methods. Collections have more built-in methods. When compared to collections, arrays are fast. When compared to arrays, collections are slow because we are reusing existing methods. So existing methods, whatever the logic they written, it will execute everything. But for arrays, we are going to write our own logic if we want traverse, sort, those things. So arrays comes under language package, collections comes under util package, and arrays are used to store the homogeneous data. So similar data type. For example, you defined int means it will store only integer values only. It will not store the other types. So collections means it will store heterogeneous without using generics. We can store all kind of data. If we are using generic means you can store only that particular data only in collections also. Then we covered a collection framework. So framework means it will have set of rules and regulations we have to follow to get our expected output. So in collection framework, mainly it contains so many interfaces and classes. It's implemented classes. Can anyone tell me what is the collection hierarchy? Which one is the parent interface in collection hierarchy? So be interactive. If you are telling wrong, nothing will happen, right? And also today, what happened? 10 people only joined. So can anyone, by seeing this diagram, explain this one hierarchy? So yesterday we covered this too as well. Why iterable? What is the collection? We covered, right, yesterday. And also I told yesterday any framework which is built on interfaces, abstract classes, then concrete classes. So here we have interface. But if you open this array list, it will extend the abstract class also. So why we need interface and abstract class? We will have common methods. When to use interface, when to use abstract class. So if you have common methods that will support different categories, that time we can choose a interface. Abstract class means it will support that particular category. So those kinds of methods we will add in abstract class. Correct, right? All these points previously also we discussed while discussing OOPS concepts. Now, can anyone explain this hierarchy? Can I call by name? See, everything is here. We stopping you. Imran, will you explain? You cannot. So everything is there. So just you have to explain this diagram, right? So collection framework hierarchy. So the parent interface is iterable. Iterable we are using for the traversing purpose. So we have to traverse reach all the elements. So they define the common method in iterable interface. And collection. Collection is the root interface for list queue set. It will have some common methods. Those common methods we are going to use in list queue set. Then list. So today we are going to cover list. Then tomorrow set. Queue I am not going to explain because in real time also we are not using in interview point of also you will not get any question from the queue. Mostly we have to learn here list and set. Then map. This is the map related one. And also yesterday I told one more thing. Difference between collections framework, and we have one class called collections. So collection is the root interface for list set queue. It will have some common methods. So what are the methods we have? Add, remove, add all, clear, contain, size, is empty, to array. So these are the methods we will have in collection. So first we will discuss about a list. So list is used to first point. List is used to store the group of elements. So list is an ordered collection. So list will allow duplicates. It is a list is an interface. It is to store the group of element. It will have ordered elements. So ordered collections means ordered data. So whatever you are adding, it will maintain that order. Then it will allow duplicates. If you are adding duplicate data also, it will allow. So these 3 points you can remember. List is an interface which is used to store the group of elements. List can maintain the order and it will allow the duplicates as well. Duplicates. And its implement classes are ArrayList. So we will see practically. But for the definition point of view, you can and remember this point. So ArrayList. So ArrayList also will have these 3 points commonly. For all collections, we will have this 3 points because this is the parent, right? These are the childs. So all the properties available in parent, we will have properties and behaviors in child classes. So then ArrayList also similar, which is used to store the group of elements. It will maintain that order and it will allow the duplicates. So here we need to remember. So ArrayList internally uses a dynamic array. So dynamic means so how it will work means internally it will use the array only. So array looks like this, right? So this is the zeroth index, first index, second index, third index, fourth index, fifth index, sixth index. So arrays are internally uses this dynamic array to store the values. So when yesterday also we discussed today the default capacity for the array. Initially, if you are defining any array list, the default capacity will be the 10. So 10 elements you can able to store in the array. Once you are going to add a 11th element, it will increase its size. So 50% it will increase. So when the array reaches its capacity, it is increase its size 50%. So here all elements are filled, then you are adding the after 10th element, it will increase its capacity automatically at runtime. But arrays, it will not increase. So in the collections, in the runtime, it will increase. And also when to use list means if you have the retrieval purpose, we can use the list. So to retrieve the particular element or particular data from the list, we can choose the array list. So array list is suitable for retrieve the data. So I will give you the syntax also. Yesterday also I told you, right? So how we can define array list means like similarly how we are creating object. So array list is the class. Then here we will have some reference. For example, my reference name is list. So this is the object reference name. New array list. So how this way only, right? We will create object. So class name. So array list is the class name. Then reference name. Then assignment operator. By using new keyword, I will call the constructor. So this is the constructor. Then object will be created in the heap memory. So this is the syntax for array list. So here you need to remember why it is while retrieval time only we will preferable array list, because see for example this is the 0th index, right? Something happened in my system.
Change the pencil color.
Okay. For example, this is the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7. So here how we will add our element means by using add method. So initially you are adding means it will store in the 0th index. For example, I am adding integer. So 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, and then 11, 12. So here what happened means why you are adding means one by one list dot add. So by using that reference name, object reference name, you are adding your elements. List dot add, then it will store in the first index, second index, third index, fourth index, like that it will store. So if you want to store the value in the third index means so already you have the indexing. So already you fill the values, but if you want to store the, so you want to replace, or you want to, no need this third index value, existing value. That time what happen, if you are changing here means this shifting will happen. So this elements will shift, particularly while deleting, so removing, the shifting will happen. If it is a size was very small means nothing will happen. This is the, for example, 7 elements, then that time your retrieval, your array performance will be fast only, because you have the less elements. If you have the n number of data, for example you have 1 lakh records in your array, in your list, then what happen here, this shifting will occur. If you want to retrieval means based on that particular index, you will retrieve, then no issue. If you want to add or remove the data means, for example you are removing this third index data, then the shifting will occur. So 7 need to come to third, 5 index need to come to fourth index, sixth index value need to come to fifth index, like that. For shifting it will take more time. So that is the purpose, it is not suitable for adding and removing. So linked list, which is suitable for adding and removing the elements. For array list, which is suitable for retrieval purpose. So first we will see the one example, later we will discuss the, so new, I am creating new package here. So how to create a package, everyone aware, right? So com dot global neo chain. So reverse of the company domain. All letters are small. Here I will add collections. Are you able to follow, right? Here I am going to create one new class. So class name I am giving list examples. I will use main method here. Main method is the entry point. Without main method, we cannot execute. So you can see here list. So we have to import this one. List will come util package. So you can see here once we imported. So import came here. Then some reference name new. So for interface, I cannot create a object. For its implementation class, I can create a object here. Then to add the elements, list dot add. For example, here one I am adding. So list dot add. So we can add here by using index also. So add all when we will use means we have the list, inside the list we can use the add all. If we are adding single elements, we can use the normal add method. So here I can so list dot add example float value. I'm using this is the double value. Float means we have to define f. So list dot add. Here I will add boolean value. So if you print this one list will print like one array only. Run as a Java application. You can see this is we can call it as an one array. And also I mentioned right, it will store the duplicates as well. And it will maintain that order also. Run as a so if you want to maintain the order and duplicates means you have to prefer list classes. And if you want unique elements means you have to choose a set. Set is unorder, but order it won't follow. So if you want both unique elements, so duplicates need to remove and order also need to maintain means so linked hash set we have that class we can use. So now we printed like array. I need a one by one value means how we will get we have to use a for each or for loop. So for what is the for each for loop syntax? First we will see the for loop syntax. So already we know right what is the syntax for loop. Guys aware right? So for keyword then inside the parentheses initialization then semicolon we will have then condition then increment or decrement. Then we have body for loop body. So here initialization means how we can. So int index I equal to 0. Here we have size method, but in arrays we will have length method. In string also we will have the length method. List dot size then I plus plus one by one we are incrementing. This is the index. We are starting from the 0th index. Then one by one we are printing. So sys out here. So we can retrieve by using list dot. We have one method called get of I. By using for loop, we are iterating now. So right click, run as a Java application. So previously you can see we printed a list directly. So that is comes like an array. But when comes to this for loop, it is printing one by one value. So here size will start from one only. Hmm. So for example, here you print a sys out this list dot size. So size method, it will return the int value, integer. Run as a, so first value, right? We have how many elements here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 it is printed. So it will traverse up to that 5 times. Once this condition fails, then it will not traverse. Initially I equal to 0. So 0 less than list dot size. Yes, 5. So 0 is less than 5 only, right? So 5 less than. Then increment. So that value it will print. What is now currently I value is 0. Then it will print that first element. So it is printed. Similarly, now I becomes 1 because we used a post increment. Once this is executed, that I value will change. I equal to 1. Then 1 less than 5. True. Condition true. Then I plus plus. So then it will go inside this for loop block. Then it will print this first index element. So similarly, it will check the conditions. Then I becomes 2. 2 is less than 5. Then second value it will print. Then I becomes 3. 3 is less than 5. Then fourth value it will print. Then 4. Then 5. Then it will print that fifth value. Then 5. So less than will check up to that 4. If we want to check exact 5 also, we have to use less than or equal to also. But here no need. We have the 5 index only, right? Then no. If you started I equal to 1 means that time you need I less than or equal to list dot size. But you started from the 0 only, then not required. So this is clear, right? How it is working in the for loop. And also we mentioned, right, it will accept heterogeneous elements also. So different kinds of data. Here we have different kind of data. But for the same list, you use wrapper means it won't allow. So wrappers we are using in the collections means to store that particular data only. Will not allow other data type data. So this is by using for loop we did. Here you see how many methods we used here. List dot add to add the element, to get the to retrieve the data, get method. So size list dot size. So next I will tell you with the help of a for each loop. When compared to for loop, this for each loop is the enhanced loop. Enhance means when compared to this one, it is the more readable one and it is easy to remember that syntax also. So for each. For each loop, here we not define anything. I will tell you this is in the with next example. I will give you another example here. That time I will tell you. So for each loop, mostly here we not define right any wrapper classes. So by defaultly it is taking this object. So this is the reference name here. So I will show you. Don't worry. This one. It's when compared to for loop, for each loop is very easy to remember. So next one, I will give you an example in using wrapper class. There we can see few more methods also. For example, I am storing some fruit names. UIT fruit list. So once we completed these collections, we will have one mini project. So everyone need to practice that one. I will give you what to do and will explain you. You have to do practically. Everyone need to complete that mini project. So if you guys want offline that practical session, we will do on Saturday morning in office. Whoever interested, you can join. So here I will use wrapper here. So here why error means first after adding list we have to import. So list of string I am using because I mentioned right fruit list. So fruits equal to new. Remember this syntax the similar way how we can create a object. The same way we will create that. You can see here this is the wrapper. Here we no need to define. By defaultly the compiler will consider these are the string values only. So if you add also no issue here. But not required. It is not the required mandatory one. So we can remove also. It will work. No issues. Then first thing how we can add the elements in the list by using add method. List dot add. Here it will accept only the string. You can see here string. But previously in the previous example, if you take here list dot add, so object, any object it will support. So then only in the for each loop here it is came like a object reference then list. Now we will add apple. Similarly, I will add banana. Then so grapes. grapes I added. So we will use this methods also. First we will print this list. Later we will add. What I will do, fruits dot add. So by using index, I'm adding. For example, in the second index, I'm adding. So I told you right that shifting also you can see here. For example, in the second index, I am adding. Tell me the one fruit name. Orange. So here, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Here shifting will not happen because after this, no elements was there. So in the first index, I am adding. So first index means banana. Now, once you added this one, banana will shift to second index. Grapes will shift to third index. You can see that after adding, you can print again that list. So run as a Java application. Now you can see. So this is our initial list. Initial list we have 3 apple, banana, and grapes. But in the first element, I included a orange. So I added. So here what happened? Shifting happened. So banana moved to second index, then grapes moved to third index. So here I have very less data. That time it's no problem. This one it's a speed only. If you have some lakhs of data, that time if you are adding in the first index means then how many elements it need to shift you can think. So nearly some 99,000 elements need to shift. That time it will take some time. So because of that purpose, list is not preferable for adding and removing the element. So remove also same. So for example, here I am removing. So if you added means it will shift to right side. If you remove means it will shift left side. So for example, I am removing. So remove index 1. Orange I am removing. So orange I am removing. Here I will print again that list. Run as so by using this remove method, I removed. So similarly, we have different kinds of methods, right? We will check all that methods here, collection methods. So here add all also similar only. Remove is remove also similar. Clear we will use a clear. What clear will do? Fruits dot clear. So there is a no return type. Remove the argument. So remove all the elements from the list. The list will be empty after this. So it will remove all the elements from the list. Once we cleared this list will become empty. So inside outside I will use now I will try to print here only the fruits. So now it will support. So in Telugu I will explain you, no problem. Done answer. So clear methods, it is clear to everything. సో మనం లిస్ట్ ఎందుకు యూస్ చేస్తున్నామంటే గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ని సేవ్ చేయడానికి. సో ఇక్కడ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ అంటే, సో ఫ్రూట్ అనేది చాలా ఫ్రూట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఆల్ ఫ్రూట్స్ని యాడ్ చేయడానికి మనం ఒక లిస్ట్ అనేది యూస్ చేసాము ఇక్కడ. సిమిలర్లీ యాపిల్, బనానా. సో లిస్ట్ అనేది డూప్లికేట్స్ని మెయింటైన్ చేస్తుంది. సో డూప్లికేట్స్ని కూడా మెయింటైన్ చేశాను. దాని తర్వాత ఆర్డర్ని కూడా మెయింటైన్ చేస్తుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఫస్ట్ ఇండెక్స్లో యాపిల్ని యాడ్ చేస్తే 0th ఇండెక్స్లో యాపిల్ అయి ఉంటుంది. ఆర్డర్ అనేది చేంజ్ చేయదు. సో డూప్లికేట్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ని కూడా యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తుంది. అదే సెట్లో డూప్లికేట్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ యాడ్ చేస్తే ప్రింట్ చేసినప్పుడు రిమూవ్ చేసేస్తుంది. డూప్లికేట్ ఏమైనా ఉంటే డూప్లికేట్ వాల్యూస్ని రిమూవ్ చేస్తుంది. బట్ లిస్ట్ అలా కాదు, అన్నిటిని మెయింటైన్ చేస్తుంది. సో మనకి ఇక్కడ ఈ ఎలా యాడ్ చేస్తున్నాం అనేది ఆల్రెడీ మనకు మెథడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆ మెథడ్స్ని మనం యూస్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో డైరెక్ట్గా ఎలిమెంట్స్ యాడ్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఆ ఎలిమెంట్ అనేది యాడ్ అవుతూ ఉంది. పర్టికులర్లీ ఇండెక్స్, బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద ఇండెక్స్ కూడా మనం యాడ్ చేయొచ్చు. సో అలాగే మనం రిమూవ్ మెథడ్ ఎలా వర్క్ అవుతుందో చెక్ చేసాము. నెక్స్ట్ ఈ మెథడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, రిమైనింగ్ మెథడ్స్ చెక్ చేద్దాం. సో సైజ్ ఆల్రెడీ చూసాం. కంటైన్స్ ఎప్పుడు యూస్ చేస్తామంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ ఫ్రూట్స్లో డాట్ కంటైన్స్, ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ లేని ఫ్రూట్ పేరు ఒకటి చెప్పండి. సో ఆ ఫ్రూట్ ఉందా లేదా అని చెక్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఈ కంటైన్స్ మెథడ్ అని యూస్ చేస్తాం. పర్టికులర్లీ we will use this contains to check that a particular element is available or not in that list. Fruit name pomegranate. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇదేం ప్రింట్, ఇది క్లియర్ ముందు రాస్తున్నాం, ఎందుకంటే క్లియర్ మెథడ్ ముందు మనకి లిస్ట్ లో వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి, క్లియర్ తర్వాత వాల్యూస్ ఉండవు. దానికోసం క్లియర్ మెథడ్ ముందు ఇది చేస్తున్నాం. సో ఫాల్స్, పొమోగ్రానైట్ అనేది లేదు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యాపిల్, రన్ యాజ్ ఏ జావా అప్లికేషన్. సో ట్రూ, యాపిల్ అనేది ఉంది. ఇది ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేస్తామంటే కంటైన్స్ అనేది మనం బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద రిక్వైర్మెంట్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ లిస్ట్లో ఈ వాల్యూ ఉంటే దాని తర్వాత ఈ లాజిక్ ప్రిఫర్ చేయండి, అట్లా మనకి కొన్ని రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ వస్తాయి. ఆ టైంలో మనం బేస్డ్ ఆన్ మన రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఎప్పుడు ఏ మెథడ్ యూస్ చేయాలో ఆ మెథడ్ యూస్ చేసుకోవాలి. నెక్స్ట్ మనం బిఫోర్ అది ట్రావర్స్ చేసే ముందు ఏ లిస్ట్ అయినా ఫస్ట్ మనం ఆ లిస్ట్ ఎంటీ ఉందా లేదా చెక్ చేయాలా. సో అప్పుడు ఎలా చేస్తామంటే ట్రావర్స్ చేసే ముందు ఒక ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ పెడతాం. ఇఫ్ ఫ్రూట్స్ ఇక్కడ ఎంటీ, ఈజ్ ఎంటీ మెథడ్ ఉంది కదా, ఇది బూలియన్ అనేది రిటర్న్ చేస్తుంది. సో ఈజ్ ఎంటీ అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఇక్కడ ప్రింట్ చేసి చూద్దాం. ఈజ్ ఎంటీ అంటే ఏం ప్రింట్ అవుతుందో, ట్రూ ఆర్ ఫాల్స్ అనేది ప్రింట్ అవుద్ది. ఇప్పుడు ఈజ్ ఎంటీ అనేది ఉందా, లేదు కదా. ఇక్కడ ఆన్సర్ ఏమొస్తుంది, ఫాల్స్ వస్తుంది. సో ఫాల్స్. సో ఇది కంటైన్స్ అనేది యాపిల్ ఉంది కాబట్టి ట్రూ, ఇక్కడ ఇది ఫాల్స్. అదే నాట్ ఎంటీ, నాట్ ఎంటీ అంటే వాల్యూ ఉన్నట్టు. సో ఫాల్స్ అన్న వాల్యూ ఉన్నట్టు. సో నాట్ ఎంటీ, నాట్ ఎంటీ కాదు. వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఏదైనా ట్రావర్స్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఈ కండిషన్ అనేది పెడతాం. ఇఫ్ లిస్ట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎంటీ దెన్ వీ కెన్ ట్రావర్స్ లైక్ దట్. సో ఇది లేకుండా కూడా చేయొచ్చు. సో ఫార్ ఈచ్ కూడా దాన్ని హ్యాండిల్ చేస్తుంది. బట్ జస్ట్ ఒక యూస్ కేస్ చెప్పాను మీకు. ఫార్ ఈచ్, సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఫార్ ఈచ్ అనేది ఇది ఎన్హాన్స్ ఫార్ ఈచ్. మనం నార్మల్ ఫార్ లూప్ ఎలా యూస్ చేసాం? ఇనిషియలైజేషన్, కండిషన్, ఇంక్రిమెంట్, డిక్రిమెంట్. బట్ ఇక్కడ అలా కాదు. ఇక్కడైతే మనం ఏదైతే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ పాస్ చేస్తుంటామో ఆ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఇది వచ్చి రెఫరెన్స్ నేమ్. సో ఈ రెఫరెన్స్ నేమ్ మనం చేంజ్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు. బట్ ఈ రెండు మనం చేంజ్ చేయలేం. మనం ఏ లిస్ట్ అయితే ఇటరేట్ చేస్తామో ఆ లిస్ట్ వచ్చి ఆఫ్టర్ ఇది కోలన్ తర్వాత ఆ లిస్ట్ అనేది ఇవ్వాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ సింపుల్గా సిస్ అవుట్. సో ఇన్సైడ్ దిస్ ఫార్ ఈచ్ సిస్ అవుట్ ఫ్రూట్. ఫ్రూట్ అనేది ప్రింట్ చేస్తాం. చూడండి ఇక్కడ జస్ట్ ఇక్కడ ఒక మెసేజ్ ఇస్తాను. యూజింగ్ ఫార్ ఈచ్ లూప్. సో ఫార్ ఈచ్ లూప్ సింటాక్స్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. రన్ యాజ్ సో యూజింగ్ ఫార్ ఈచ్ లూప్ యాపిల్ యాపిల్, బనానా బనానా, గ్రేప్స్. సో 1 by 1 మనం ప్రింట్ చేసాం. సో దీన్నే మనం ఫార్ లూప్తో కూడా చేయొచ్చు, ఫార్ ఈచ్ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఫార్ లూప్ కన్నా మీకు ఇది ఈజీ అనిపిస్తుంది. జస్ట్ ఇక్కడ ఏమైతే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ పాస్ చేస్తున్నారో ఆ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ని ఇక్కడ పాస్ చేయాలి. దాని యొక్క రెఫరెన్స్ నేమ్, దెన్ రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్టర్ కోలన్ తర్వాత మీరు ఏ లిస్ట్ని అయితే ఇటరేట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారో ఆ లిస్ట్ని ఇక్కడ ప్లేస్ చేయాలి. ప్లేస్ చేసి దాని తర్వాత సిస్టమ్ అవుట్ డాట్ ప్రింట్ఎల్ఎన్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద బ్లాక్ ఈ ఫ్రూట్ అనేది రెఫరెన్స్ అనేది ప్రింట్ చేసేస్తే 1 by 1 ఇది ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ కూడా మనం చేయొచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకు చెప్పలేదంటే మీకు ఇందాక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది, సో ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏది లేదు. ఏది లేనప్పుడు పేరెంట్ క్లాస్ అనేది ఏది? ఆబ్జెక్ట్. సో ఇది ఫార్ ఈచ్. సో సిస్ అవుట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. రన్ యాజ్ జావా అప్లికేషన్. ఇక్కడ చూసారు కదా 2 times. ఆల్రెడీ ఫార్ లూప్తో ఒకసారి, ఫార్ ఈచ్తో ఒకసారి. సో రన్ యాజ్ జావా అప్లికేషన్. సో ఈ ఫార్ ఈచ్ అనేది మనం ఎంటీ చెక్ చేయని అవసరం లేదు. బై డిఫాల్ట్ అది హ్యాండిల్ చేస్తుంది. ఒకవేళ ఎంటీ ఉంటే అదేం నల్ పాయింటర్ ఎక్సెప్షన్, ఆ ఎక్సెప్షన్స్ ఏమి త్రో చేయదు. ఆఫ్టర్ క్లియర్ మెథడ్ తర్వాత చూద్దాం. ఆఫ్టర్ క్లియర్ మెథడ్ తర్వాత మనకి లిస్ట్ అనేది ఎంటీ అవుతుంది ఇక్కడ. సో ఇక్కడ లిస్ట్ అనేది ఎంటీ ఉంటే ఈ ఫార్ ఈచ్ అనేది హ్యాండిల్ చేసేస్తుంది. ఒకవేళ మనం ఎంటీ కండిషన్ చెక్ చేయలేదే అన్నట్టు ఉన్నప్పుడు. సో అది మనం ఎప్పుడు యూస్ చేస్తాం అంటే ఏదైనా లాజిక్ కోసం యూస్ చేస్తాం. ఆ లిస్ట్ అనేది వాల్యూ ఉందా లేదా అని చెక్ చేయడానికి. సో ఇది క్లియర్ కదా? ఈజ్ ఎంటీ. సో టు అరే మనం అప్కమింగ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్లో ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూద్దాం. ఇంటర్వ్యూ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అలా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటప్పుడు అది ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. సో అది అరేగా కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తుంది లిస్ట్ నుంచి అరేకి. I will copy and paste in chart. You can practice this one. So very simple only. Just we have methods we are going to reuse, but you have to remember the syntax, how to define list. So similar way, how we are defining, how we created object, the same way only, but generics will come. If you are not using generics, normally you can create object, right? That similar way only, but mostly preferable one, generics one. So with the generics, without generics. క్లియర్ కదా? ఇంతవరకు మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? లిస్ట్, అరే లిస్ట్ అనేది చూసాం మనం. నెక్స్ట్ మనం లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ చూద్దాం. సో ఇక్కడ మీరు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయాల్సింది, ఇంటర్వ్యూలో అడిగితే వాట్ ఈస్ అరే లిస్ట్ మీన్స్. అరే లిస్ట్ is used to store the group of elements which will contains order elements, and it will allow duplicates, and internally it will uses dynamic array to store the elements. Once its capacity reached, it will increase its size 50%, and it is suitable for retrieval purpose. So retrieval purpose it is suitable. Why? The reason is elements will shift. Hmm? If add and delete means remove means elements will shift. That time it will take more time. But linked list, same points will come. Here only thing, array list will use for retrieval purpose. Linked list will use for add and remove. So we can prefer linked list mostly while add and remove them. Here shifting will not happen. Here how this linked list will store the element means, so that you will get a little confused. As of now you can remember, but internally how it is working you have to aware once you got a little familiar means. But so this arrays you are familiar, right? Previously you are familiar, so because you understand easily this what is shifting, how it is occurred, already I shown in practical way also. But linked list little bit difficult, as of now not required. So in the after finishing our Java, I will tell you internal working of hash map. So hash map also, these are the important interview questions. Internal how it is working, linked list how it is storing the data, hash set how it is storing. So internal working. So these types of questions they will expect, they will ask in interviews. So we can also expect. So direct questions they will not ask you, like what is list, they will not ask you. But it's internally how it is working. What is the difference between array list and linked list? When to use which one? These types of questions they will ask. But as of now, you remember. So that you, if I tell now means you will get confused. Don't. I will tell you those things how that is internally working. So linked list. So mostly these two we will use in the list interface. That vector and stack we will not use. All are old classes. Nowadays we are not using in programming also, but for interview purpose you can learn. Linked list. The linked list also same. These 3 points will come here. Difference is internally it uses a doubly linked list. Doubly linked list to store the elements. Here array list will use a dynamic array to store the elements. Linked list will use a doubly linked list to store the elements. And this is also same. Once it is capacity increased, it will add next elements in the runtime. So it is suitable for adding and removing the elements. So just remember these 5 points here. So these 3 points are common, then these 2 points. So when to use array list, when to use linked list, means you can explain this one. Array list is for retrieval purpose, linked list is for add and removing the elements. That time we can prefer linked list. Like that you can explain. So you can see one example here, new class linked list. So list, here I will pass integer. So numbers, reference name, number, new linked list. Okay. Here I created a class name as a linked list. Already it's a class, right? It will not allow linked list. Example, just rename this class. Now we can import. So now we got. So same methods, whatever the list array list we saw, it will also have the same methods. Numbers dot add. Here it will support only integers now because we used generics. Numbers dot add. So it will allow duplicates many times also. Say for example, we have 4 duplicates here. Then sys out numbers. Run as a Java application. So here why we are using list interface means so if you are using list interface here, if you want to convert a array list also we can convert, linked list also we can convert, and also vector also we can convert stack. But if you are using linked list here, you cannot convert into anything. So if you are referring this next time, you have to use only that linked list. But if you use a list here, we can convert, later also we can change this to array list also. So after this code also we can change. So these collections are the important one for Java 8 features also. We are mostly going to work with the collections only. So you can carefully learn these collections. So we can print this one, run, already we printed, right? Mm. So it is printed everything. So this is clear, right? So similarly, you can try for a vector and a stack also. I will give you some scenario questions in WhatsApp group related to linked list and array list. You can practice those questions as well. And once we are completing this collections, we will have one practical session offline. We will we will have one mini project.